So, the Game Awards 2022, was it any good? I mean, it was really good actually, but obviously the big thing that was really upsetting to myself and probably a lot of you that are watching, no Arc 2 news, not even a scrap. And after watching the Extra Life event and Cedric saying that Extra Life was not the time or place to be talking about Arc 2 news, then we were told that the next time that we did hear about it, we'd see actual gameplay footage. So we kind of hoped, I mean, the Dino Lord didn't think it was going to happen, but I totally hoped that, that they were going to show something at the Game Awards, but unfortunately not, so that's a bit shit. But other than that, it was quite an eventful awards. I was hoping for some Elden Ring DLC. I mean, I know we got the PvP Coliseum last week, but I thought maybe they'd be saving something else for the Game Awards as well. And then, obviously things like I would have liked maybe to have seen some Sekiro 2. And then there's the ones that were never going to happen, like Elder Scrolls 6 and Bloodborne 2, but you always have it in the back of your mind that maybe, just maybe. And the Bloodborne thing is because when we watched State of Play a couple months back, I'd left the room for a second, I'd gone to the bathroom, and the Dino Lord shouted, "It's Bloodborne 2!" And so I pegged it all the way back before even flushing the toilet. I was only doing a tinkle, by the way, I wasn't doing a poop or anything, and I ran all the way back through quickly, and looked at the screen, and there was some really shit game being shown, and he thought it was the most hilarious thing ever, and it was not. It was not, and I've not forgiven him for that, and I'm not sure I will either. So obviously, God of War swept up a lot of awards, Stray got a lot of awards, and those were bound to happen. And as you may be aware, Elden Ring did get a few awards as well, but we will be speaking about that a bit later, because unless you've been hiding under a rock since the event, something mental happened after Miyazaki finished his acceptance speech. Now let's take a look at some of the more exciting games that were announced at the Game Awards 2022, and there were some good ones. So first off, oh my god, how good did Space Marine 2 look? Like, I am buzzing about this. I loved Space Marine 1 on the Xbox 360. It was playing this game that gave me the inspiration to make my Captain Titus cosplay because I just thought he looked so badass. I love this game so much. We played it, the Dino Lord and Dan and myself all played it together on the Xbox 360 taking turns. And god, it was phenomenal. I loved it so much. So yeah, I cannot wait for this. And it looks absolutely incredible. I think they said this isn't actual gameplay footage. It's in like the alpha stage right now. Yes, you can see at the bottom of the screen there. So, it's subject to change. But I cannot wait to be swinging that chainsword around again. It's going to be amazing. So the next game I want to talk about is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Oh my god, can't wait for this either because I 100%ed The Fallen Order when that came out, and I was a bit gutted once I'd completed it because I was like, oh, I want to keep playing it. It's one of those games that you just gutted when it's over. So buzzing that this is coming out. It looks fantastic as well. They've got the same main character, which is awesome. He was brilliant and I can't wait to play as him again. This game was really hard on the higher difficulties though. I was playing it and I thought, this is solid, I don't understand what's going on. And I messaged Dan and said, are you having trouble with this game or not? And it turns out I'd been playing it on a really high difficulty and I didn't even think, I thought I was playing it on normal and I wasn't. And yeah, I thought, oh god, this game is really hard. But I turned the difficulty down a little bit, to be honest with you. Yep, I know, what a casual, but it was a much more pleasurable experience and less grindy. So yeah, can't wait for this to come out. Won't be playing it on hard, not at all. And this is coming out in March next year, so that's like a month after Hogwarts Legacy, so it's going to be a bit of a pricey early start to the year next year, I think, because I'm going to want both of them. I'm going to have to start saving up any Christmas money that I get, because I do ideally want both, So this next game that I want to talk about confused the hell out of me, because it was like The Lords of the Fallen. But there was already a Lords of the Fallen in 2014, which was like a Souls-like, and it got a lot of stick for being really clunky and shit. But the Dino Lord and myself completed it together, and we thoroughly enjoyed it, to be honest. I don't know if it's because of the experience we played it together, but he prefers it to Dark Souls. I know, proper weird, right? So, and this game is apparently the sequel, but instead of calling it Lords of the Fallen 2, I think it was called Lords of the Fallen 2 until recently, and they've renamed it The Lords of the Fallen. But pardon my language, but fuck, this looks insane. I can't wait to play this. I'm going to have to play this. Hopefully I can play it with the Dino Lord again, but now that we have like an Xbox each, we don't tend to play games sort of taking turns like what we used to do you know what I mean? Even though when we did, I hardly ever got any game time because I would have to do the boring farming bits and then he'd get to do like the fun boss fights and stuff. So yeah, it's probably for the best that we do have our own console now. Maybe we could play it side by side like what we did with Sekiro and like what we're going to do with Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know, but I definitely want this. This looks amazing. Once again, like the old one, a bit of a Souls ripoff, but it does look a lot less clunky. It's not as clunky Souls as the last one was, so fingers crossed, and we'll see what it's like when it comes out. See if we get any more like sort of proper gameplay footage on the lead up to the release. So we also seen some footage of Final Fantasy 16, and it looked pretty good, but it's just a bit too flashy for me, the combat. I don't know what it is, it's just a bit, I like combat to be a bit more basic, a bit more raw, if that makes sense. And I'll be honest, in the last Final Fantasy game that came out, the single player one, I was a bit bored, you know the one with the guy that did all the cooking and that, and the guy that looked a bit like the Dino Lord was the main character. But I found myself getting a little bit bored. But this one, the story looks amazing, and I like the medieval stuff at the beginning, but I'm not sure, because of how flashy the combat and that is, I don't know if I'd get on with it or not, But even though it's not for me, I know there's a massive fan base for Final Fantasy, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that are really looking forward to this. And there was a few other games that came up that did look really good, but it's just that they're just not my sort of taste. So we had Death Stranding 2, which, oh my god, like, I thought I was watching a movie. The details in that, like Unreal Engine 5, is mental. So yeah, this looked incredible. Like with Final Fantasy, this game has got, and Kojima has got a massive fan base. So there's going to be a lot of people really looking forward to this game. And I'm not surprised seeing how amazing it looks. Then there was a couple of other games that I thought looked kind of interesting, like Crime Boss. Like if that comes on Game Pass, I can imagine I'll probably download that and have a bit of fun on it, because it had like Chuck Norris and a few other celebrities in it, and it looked quite fun. So now let's talk about the massive premiere that was put in at the end of the Game Awards. Oh, this gave me tingles. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is amazing. I was hoping, but I thought after then there being no Elden Ring, no Arc 2, I thought, nah, it's not going to be there. But it was, and that is Armored Core. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. After like waiting and being like, oh, I think I was hoping for gonna come up, and it did. Now, I never played any of the old Armored Core games. Let me know in the comments if you have though, because I'd be so excited to talk to someone who's actually played them. I only heard about Armored Core because I was so obsessed with Dark Souls. I went back and started playing the old From Software games. I played like Shadow Tower and King's Field and stuff. And then I started looking into their other stuff, and I was like, oh, Armored Core, what's that? And then I watched like a Josh Strife Hayes video where he played the original one, and the customization you can do on your mechs looks amazing, even on that really old game. So like the technology that they have now and how far they've come since then. And yeah, we've got it. It's coming. It's Armored Core 6. And let me know if you guys are looking forward to playing this, because I can't wait. I don't know whether I'll go like back and play some of the older Armored Cores beforehand or not. I'm not really sure whether to do that or just to wait until this one comes out and just enjoy it. But look at them. I want to be a badass mech knocking about, just breaking shit. I'm sure it's probably got a really good story and some decent lore as well, so that'll be something to look forward to. But now let's talk about the big one, the Game of the Year award. And it went to Elden Ring, but I'll be honest with you, because God of War had won so many on the lead up to it, I kind of thought, oh, I reckon God of War's going to take it, And then when they announced Elden Ring, it was a lovely, lovely moment. And I'd already got a bit emotional when Miyazaki gave his acceptance speech for the Best Direction award. When they won this one as well, it was just like, oh, this is just amazing. They really deserve it. Such a good team. Constantly knocking out banging games, no microtransactions, no shit like that. Well deserved, really well deserved. I mean, let me know in the comments if you agree or not, if you think maybe God of War or something else should have won. But for me, Elden Ring it was always going to be. However, look at this random guy that's up on the stage with them. Did anybody else think that guy looks a little bit out of place? And he was looking a bit shifty because he kept like looking up at the camera. You'll see in a minute, he like looks up as if he's waiting to be caught out or something. Look at him standing there. He's just acting like he's part of the team. Look at him, he's positioned himself behind Miyazaki, ready for when the speech finishes, so he can make his move. The little sly glance at the camera there as well, like he's watching his back because he knows he's doing something shifty. And then when Miyazaki finishes his acceptance speech, he takes his opportunity and steps up to the mic.
Hey, Matan. Real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi, Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
So people clearly didn't have a clue what was going on because they were cheering and stuff as well for him, so that was really weird. But yeah, and a little bit disrespectful to do that, but as a lot of people pointed out, he sort of did stand back and clapped and waited until Miyazaki had completely finished his speech before stepping forward and making his point, I guess. I'm not really sure where he was going with this or what he was doing it for. But yeah, it was really unexpected and really odd. And obviously the presenter just sort of acted like none of it had happened. And then later on the presenter went on to tweet out that he had actually been arrested afterwards. So yeah, probably for the best. You shouldn't really go around doing stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it gave us a bit of a giggle and a bit of a, what the hell just happened? You know, when it happened, it was like, what is going on? And because it was like 4 a.m. here in the UK, and I was really sleepy, I was just like, did that just happen? I haven't seen anything this mad since it was one of the music awards like years ago, and Jarvis Cocker got on stage while Michael Jackson was performing and he pulled Michael Jackson's robes up. I don't know if anybody else remembers that, but yeah, I haven't seen anything like this since that happened, so it was very entertaining. But yeah, a bit of a shame that he had to do it when Miyazaki was just accepting his Game of the Year award, but that's how it goes, isn't it? You do get your nutters. So the clip you're seeing now is from the orchestra when they played the music from each of the games that were nominated for Game of the Year. It was phenomenal. If you get a chance, go and watch this because it really gave me tingles. It was so good. So overall, we didn't get any Arc 2 and I'm a bit gutted about that, but I guess I should have expected it really. Yeah, so that's my video on the Game Awards. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did and subscribe if you're not already. We've got loads of gaming content on here and loads more to come. Have a great day, guys. Take care and don't forget,
get the bell on.
See you in the next one.